Hello all. Today we'll be doing business communication lesson. Business communication or communication skills we may call is an important aspect of management education. Effective business communication helps in a very effective coordination and cooperation among the employees. It is very important from theoretical point of view as well as from the practical applicability of it in the organization. We see in the organization that many a times the work is hampered because the instructions were not clear, the instructions were not understood properly, or the instructions were not communicated in the manner they should have been. And this not only has an impact on the overall productivity of the organization, but it also has a very bad impact on the image of the organization. So today we'll be doing the process of communication and different elements that are involved therein. The elements of communication, first of all, there comes a referent. A referent is one who motivates the sender to share information that may initiate communication. Means before you start the process of communication, you need to have an idea or motive to actually start the conversation. Okay, so this thing can come through a message or an object or sound, sight, time schedule, ideas, perception, sensation, emotion, odor, etc. So many things. The list is not exhaustive. There can be so many things that initiates communication. For example, a nurse citing a patient with a difficulty in breathing may serve as a referent to the nurse, promoting her to initiate communication with the patient. Like when she sees him gasping and not able to breathe properly, so then this sight has initiated the communication. So the nurse will go to the patient and ask about his well-being. Okay, so referent has to be there. Okay, now communication basically means common. Okay, like when the sender and receiver they are communicating, means there is a common linkage between the sender and the receiver. Okay, so therefore communis is derived from a Latin word. Communication is derived from Latin word communis, which means common. Okay, it is usually the reciprocal exchange of information. Why is it called reciprocal? Because it should be sent from the sender and it should be properly received in the same manner by the receiver. Only then we can say that communication is properly done. It is exchange of information, ideas, facts, opinions, belief, feelings and attitudes through verbal and non-verbal means between two people or within a group of people. Verbal and non-verbal we'll be doing in our coming sessions elaborately, because they both play very important role in making the communication complete. And in organization, verbal communication and non-verbal communication, they are equally important. So therefore, a proper understanding of both will be helpful in managing things in the organization. So till now we have understood that communication basically refers to a reciprocal exchange of information. Okay. Yeah. The process. Now we'll discuss about the process. Basically, there are two players in communication, the sender and receiver. But a lot of other things also happen between the sender and receiver. First, as we discussed, there is a referent that actually initiates the communication. So the sender thinks about giving a message to the receiver. Then the message is encoded in a language that is understandable by the receiver. For example, the sender sends a message in, say, German language and the receiver doesn't know German. So the communication is not complete. though the communication is grammatically, technically correct, but it is not complete because the receiver is not able to understand it. Okay, so there is encoding. Encoding means converting the message into language which is understandable by the receiver. Then there is a channel through which the message is communicated. The channel can be written or telephonic or print or mass media, any channel. Okay, then there is decoding. Decoding means as the message is received by the receiver, then he decodes it to try to understand. Okay, so decoding will be possible only when the sender and receiver, they have a common understandable language. Okay, so therefore it is very important, as this is a basic a problem that happens. Like in many training sessions, we see that a trainer is the best, one of the best in that field, and when he comes and he takes a training session, so technically, administratively flawless training session, but it is not effective. Sometimes it is seen that the training session is not effective. Why? Because the language the trainer was using, the receivers, they were not able to comprehend the language properly, so therefore the efforts went futile. Okay, so it has to be in the same language, so decoding will be possible. So decoding is done, then receiver receives the message and there is a feedback. Okay, so this is the whole process of communication. Here every step, it is important that the barriers to communication, this we will be doing in the coming sessions. The barriers of communication are taken care of, because in every step there would be things that would hamper the effective communication between sender and receiver. Okay, so this is the whole process of communication. Referent we have already done. Yeah. Now the process of communication, we can again see the receiver gets, the idea becomes a message. The message is transmitted. The receiver gets the message. The receiver reacts and sends the feedback, and the sender has an idea. And in this way, the process of communication occurs. Okay, nowadays we see that different means of communications have come, like digital platform if we talk about. So there are a lot of things we have to take into consideration if we want the message to be properly communicated between the sender and receiver. Okay, so in this way the process is complete. Okay, so that's all for this session. We'll continue the rest of the lecture in our coming sessions. Thank you.